Okay, I actually listened to a recording of yesterday's stream, which against my better judgment. The sound balance is really all over the place for me, isn't it? Game is too loud, sometimes I talk too soft, well, I always talk too low. So I've fiddled with that today, so the sound will be different from last part. So, that's the thing. But anyway, hello! Hopefully all this will work the way I want it to. What a train wreck. What a train wreck that was. I'm glad we made it out of that trial alive. Really, I had fun. The monkey made it through the day too. Everyone was too obsessed with panties to bother with the real case. But it was good publicity. Imagine the crowd at my show tonight. Ow, I just bit my tongue. Damn it. 1 second. Oh, that was less than pleasant. Ugh. You should come, Polly. Yeah. The amazing Mr. Howe will be making an appearance. My books. I'll be here all week. That's about enough of him. Hello? Miss Tiala. Thank you for today. The trial went well. Oh, right. No problem. Do you think Woggy will be okay? Well, he's not guilty yet. Please, you have to help him. We're supposed to get married next month. Oh, congratulations. Oh, way to put the pressure on a guy. Please, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Are you sure about marrying into the Kataki family? I'm fine with it, and I love Woggy with all my heart. Oh, that's so sweet. So it doesn't bother you that you'll be, married to the mob? I don't think so. My parents are against it, of course. Say, where did you and Wookie first meet anyway? Good question. Miss Tiana doesn't look like the type to have gangster connections. Oh, we met at my old job actually. Office romance. She's not very forthcoming with information about herself, is she? Did you know that the boss is trying to get out of the business? Really? Mr. Kataki wants to quit being a gangster? He's trying to transfer his assets into a normal company. He only announced it recently out of the blue. I hear there's quite a lot of confusion in the ranks. I wonder if this explains that apron. I can't imagine Wookie going along with that. He's highly motivated, isn't he? That's not the word I would have used. He said, I'll be the next big boss and keep the family alive. I think he's at that age when boys want to make a mark on the world. That's not the way I would have put it. His father moves in a lot of circles. He's really focused on profits. The Kentucky family has been making a killing recently.
Again, not the way I would have put it.
Wocky says it's not about the money. They have the gangster tradition to uphold. Oh, a generation gap. They've even got the ever-classic "what about the family business" thing going.
Usually it's the father worried about tradition. Can I ask you a question about Wocky? I understand he was operated on by the victim, Dr. Maractus.
Apparently, yes.
I was in his clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my something bad. And then he just lets me go, without a word. See you later. Bye. So I gotta go in, get another doctor to patch me up again.
Yes, it sounded horrible. Wocky has always been fond of fighting, I'm afraid.
Not sure it qualifies as fighting when pistols are involved.
Mr. Gavin says his life might be in danger, wasn't he? He was saying his life might be in danger, wasn't he? No, that can't be right. I'm sure he was just trying to scare us. Scary to think the surgeon might make a mistake. But it's even scarier when he tries to hide it.
I'd like to know a little more about this operation. Maybe it's time to pay the Maractus clinic a visit.
I should be getting home now. Wocky's in your hands, Mr. Justice.
Right. Leave it to me.
Apollo, I think you're only making her more nervous.
Sorry, I'm new at this, okay?
It's alright. I believe in you. Looks like Wocky's out for questioning.
I really need to talk to him. I guess we'll come back later. Excuse me? Yes? The other suspect is all through with questioning, sir.
The other? You mean the panty snatcher?
Wesley Stickler. So they arrested him too. Alright, let's have a little chat with Mr. Stickler. I hope I don't regret this.
He is a valuable witness.
He is a bit precious. He is a bit precocious, I'll give him that.
Please, keep this brief if you would. I'm quite busy. I need to finish this paper. Look, it's you.
Mr. Stickler, we'd like to have a few words with you.
Very well, as long as they're few.
Nothing would make me happier, believe me. Mr. Stickler, on the night of the murder you stole...
Wait, I can't help but feel that I'm being misunderstood.
How exactly?
Yes, that night I obtained a pair of panties, it's true. However, it was my burning curiosity that drove me to do it, nothing more.
You wanted to know the trick to my panties, right?
You're here too? Oh, great Trucy, teach me. Huh? I must know the secret of your panties. My very existence hangs in the balance. Please, make me your apprentice.
Apollo, help.
I don't know, I think you'd make a great, lovely assistant.
Don't say that, Apollo.
Could you relate what you saw the night of the murder to us one more time?
Why not? Though it hardly differs from the testimony I gave in court. The defendant was there in the park that night. Of this I'm quite certain. He was pointing a pistol or something like that at the victim. That's when I shouted, "Stop, you two! Let's resolve this like gentlemen!" In the next moment, a shot was fired.
And this is all true, really?
My panties are gone, my innermost heart revealed. What further reason could I possibly have to lie?
I can't think of anything you'd want to hide more than panty snatching. True.
Sounds like Wookie was at the scene of the crime after all.
I wish it weren't so.
Yipes, she's back. Hey, you two, over here. Us. You little plum, what's up?
I think all this gangsterese is a negative influence on Trucy.
I heard you retrieved my bloomers.
Well, I was just
A man speaks clearly and takes credit where it's due. You caught the thief, didn't you?
Yes, sorry, I caught him.
You're cute when you're nervous, Polly.
I'll deal with you later.
But enough about bloomers. What about my son, Wookie?
Wookie, well, he...
Clearly.
Yes, ma'am. This is why I was kind of hoping we could avoid coming back here.
He's really everything you'd expect in a boss's son. I'm going to be a gangster, dude. And life does have an appeal for that age. Particularly for boys.
What? Don't look at me like that.
He was shot in a turf war about half a year ago.
Yes, we heard the story from Wookie.
But he didn't tell you the whole story. You know, even if he had a pistol then, he couldn't have shot anyone. What? He acts like he's hard, but he couldn't shoot someone to save his life. I should know, I'm his mum.
The words do have a certain weight on them.
Hopefully, when this is all taken care of, he and the boss can sort out their differences. The boss? You mean Wookie's father?
I've got to have my throat thing before I started the stream. They didn't seem to be on the best... They didn't seem to be on the best terms, did they?
It's true. One of our pistols is missing. So, the murder weapon from this mansion.
I kind of figured, given the difficulty of obtaining a gun these days.
None of the rank and file have access. Only the boss, myself, and Wookie could have taken it.
I see.
I'm sure the cops will continue tromping all over the mansion because of this case. Maybe this is a sign that it's time for change.
She doesn't seem too concerned, at least.
Yeah, Wookie's fiancée.
They're getting married next month, correct?
I suppose. She's been staying over lately. You don't look too happy about that, little plum. How'd you guess?
Even I could tell that. Could you tell us more about her?
Wacky brought her home one day. Says he wants to tie the knot. I can see why. She's so pretty. Oh, she's pretty enough. But you know... Nah, it's probably just me being suspicious. Stay in the business too long, and you start to only see darkness in people. You get a nose for it. A nose for people, a nose for trouble.
I wonder what the problem is.
It's like a gangster-only version of female intuition. The boss may act tough, but that boy means the world to him.
But Wacky seems, well, seems like he's against his father's position.
It's to be expected. We're in a bit of a transition now. Trying to cut our ties to the shadier side of the street and do more on the up and up. Wacky isn't too enthusiastic about the change, it's true. But why the change? Is the gangster thing just not paying the bills? It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is.
Let's see. Something must be up.
You'll see things the way the boss sees them, someday. Hey, Mr. Eldoon. Oh, Mr. Eldoon. What's wrong?
So, you found my stand. That's why I'm here to thank you. But now it's a crime scene and they won't let me have it back. That's also why I'm here. I've got no other place to go.
I see.
How can a noodle stand be a crime scene? That's what I don't get, Juicy Doll. Even in death, he's after my neck, I tell you. Meh. Can't even cook an honest noodle.
He? Even in death? You mean the victim, Dr. Maractus?
I tell you, it's enough to drive a man to make his soup even saltier.
Remind me never to eat his noodles when he's in a bad mood.
That stand, for generations it served up the very best noodles us Eldoons could make. A tradition of noodles and salty broth. More than a stand, it's history, I tell you. Watch what you say, or it might become true.
That's a great story, Mr. Eldoon. A single stand passed down from generation to generation.
Of course, to be honest, I didn't plan on doing it.
That's right. You said something about that. About you rebelling against your pops, was it?
Good memory, Trucy Doll. I was a go-getter back in my day. Till my friend next door butted in. In the end, I was left with nothing but this dusty old stand to earn my fortune.
Mr. Eldoon, I don't mean to pry, but what exactly did you do before you became a chef?
Nah, let old noodles lie, that's what I say.
Starting to get an idea of what he did anyway.
He stole my dream and left me with nothing but noodles. Now I don't even have that.
Mr. Eldoon, I might ask, what exactly happened between you and the Maractus clinic?
Huh?
Couldn't help but sense enmity there.
Enmity? I ain't him. Hatred? Him. Acting like he smells like roses when he's rolling in mud.
Excuse me?
He's the only doctor at the clinic, you know. Pretty impressive, eh? I'll tell you the secret to his success. The mob.
You mean the Kataki family?
They're always having one of them turf wars or whatnot. Always an injury or two that needs fixing. Maractus saw a chance for some business, so he started giving the Kataki family a good deal.
Deal?
Every fifth operation for free. He stole the idea from my pops. 1 free bowl of noodles a week, he used to say.
Can a doctor just decide to do that? What about the insurance companies?
Oh, no doubt it's illegal, but it got him in good with the family. Pretty soon he was getting all the business in town, leaving me here in the dark, up to my neck in soupy noodles.
I think I figured out Mr. Aldoon's former occupation. Can't I to ask, Apollo? Mr. Aldoon. Or should I say, Dr. Aldoon?
Figured it out, did you? That's right, I was a doctor. A surgeon until the year before last.
So, Mr. Maractus was your rival?
You like those onions they put in the soup broth?
Yeah, kind of.
You take a spoon, you drink some broth. Those onions will find their way in there. For people who like 'em, why that's just fine. For people who hate 'em, I hate onions. Hate 'em. Always sneaking in from the side, getting in the way of a good tasting spoonful. Well, that's what he was, an onion. Onion boy, that's what I called him.
So, you weren't exactly friends?
Me and pal Maractus, ever since preschool we were getting in each other's face. No matter what I did, sure enough he'd come following along. And he'd do it better than me, just blow right past without so much as a howdy.
I see.
That's right, I was a surgeon long before he was, you know. And that no good onion boy comes along.
Well, Trucy, looks like we found ourselves a new suspect. Don't say that.
Thanks to him, I was supposed to trade in my scalpel for a ladle. Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to weigh you down with an old man's ramblings.
No, it's fine.
By way of apology, you ever get yourself in a spot of trouble, you drop by. Huh? You're investigating Maractus, aren't you?
Yes?
Well, you want to know about a doctor, you ask a doctor. That's all I'm saying. You just think of me if you need something, Trucy doll.
Right. Thanks, Mr. Aldoon. Guess the time spent listening to him complain wasn't entirely wasted. Well, we've got to check out this clinic, that's for sure.
Yeah, but what about the guard?
No harm in asking. Excuse me.
Hey, it's you two from yesterday.
That's the same officer that was standing out by the park yesterday.
The business is over in the park, isn't it? The clinic's off limits. It's not involved. What part of off limits don't you understand? Show me proof that the clinic is connected to the incident in the park or beat it.
No harm in asking. No gain either. No point in sticking around here, I guess.
I was hoping to meet with my client. Waki Katai's just finished questioning. I'll bring him out.
Great, finally.
Yo, sup, my little imposter?
What did you call me?
Dizam, it's you. Sorry, G. Thought you were a leader.
My little imposter? Sure is a strange nickname.
It's a clink thing. You wouldn't understand. Did I say imposter? I meant poster. Like, poster girl, right?
You're going to drop part of that. Why not drop poster and just call her girl?
But she's so much more than that, G. She's like an angel. A fallen angel. So, what can I do for you?
You don't look so chipper today, Wonky.
Worried about your, heart condition, maybe? That was the workest thing of all. All us G's lining up taking eye exams. Better to die young than fade away, bizoy. God, I hate this kid. A relief to hear. What's a relief?
Oh, did your father not tell you? The bullet you carry is so close to your heart. If not attended to immediately, it could kill you.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that. A man fights to protect what's valuable to him, you know what I'm saying? I miss my fallen angel. Hey, you go get a letter for me. You're my lawyer, aren't you? Lawyer, not gopher.
So, I hear you're to be married next month.
Straight up, we bought the nuptial 40 out on the stop. Dude, there. My Lisa, oh snapple cakes, she's so fine.
I think he's smitten with her in his own weird way. I was wondering, how did you two meet? I asked Tiara, but she was very vague.
Huh? Well, man, if she wouldn't tell you, I best hold my tongue, you feel me?
What?
Man, what's past is past. She knows that. When I'm with Arlita, I feel like there's things worth protecting out there. You feel me? And my Arlita, she's down with that all the way.
So both of them are mums about their past. Do you think you could tell us what happened with you and Pal Merictus?
Well, there's something you should know. We Katakis are having what you might call a feud with the Ravelli's family. So, about 6 months back, I got into Ravelli's turf, packing a knife, right?
And? You were shot?
Coldest thing I ever seen. One shot to the heart, but my homies weren't too late. It's a miracle that I lived. It's already considered one of the 7 wonders of the Kataki family, you know that?
So you were taken to the Maractus clinic then?
Oh, you should have seen their faces when they wheeled me in. You can't just let the boss's son die, you know?
I'd hate to have been in that doctor's shoes. Mr. Kataki's scary enough when he's not angry. The bullet that hit you, it was never removed? And it's still threatening his life.
That doctor, he did it on purpose. The Ravelli's paid him off, I'm sure of it.
Need to hear more about the night of the murder, that much is clear.
Life in the family is a G thing. It's about being a man. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I'm not up on my G things. I'm not even sure what a G thing is.
My old man, he's gone soft. He says the old rival gang days are over. He just wants to make money.
Isn't that a good thing?
Man, there ain't no soul in making money. Better live fast and die young for shizzle. Oh, you and me both, Apollo. Wait till I run the yard, then everyone will know what time it is. That's right, OG time all the time. Represent.
Hello, why does he keep talking about old guys?
I don't think that's what OG means, Trucy. About these weapons, the pistol and the knife. They belong to the family. I snuck them out that night. The killer Mr. Stickler saw it, says he saw what that night was. I guess it was me. I was there after all. We finished.
Yo, Wacky. Do you think you could tell us exactly what happened that night?
You don't beat around the bush, do you? I like your style, shorty. Actually, there's a question I've been wanting to ask you for a while now. And that is, did you do it? Did you shoot him? I don't know. Huh? The day of that checkup, when I found out about the bullet by my heart, I borrowed a gun from the family stash. Figured I'd give that doctor a taste of his own bad medicine. I don't like where this is going.
You were carrying a knife, weren't you?
Oh, that? Yeah, well, never can be too careful, I say. So, I'm on my way to the clinic, right? When I run into him here in the park, and he's dragging this noodle stand behind him.
Wait, you didn't put him up to that? Like, you know, in the movies? If you value life, you'll bring the stand?
Shorty, you're more whack than I am, and that's saying something.
But I was serious.
Thing is, I don't remember what happened next all too well. You don't remember? Well, the way I see it, if there wasn't anyone else there that night, then I guess it probably was me who did him in. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that crowd over by the park.
How many people are trying to get a glimpse of the crime scene?
But why are those girls screaming? I think I just heard one say, "Oh my god, it's him."
Wait, that motorcycle. If it isn't her forehead. Prosecutor Gavin? Some fans found me on my way out. Just my luck.
Oh my god, he's so cool.
That's the screams. New album just came out, you know. Try waving to them. They love it.
Oh, he's so cute.
They're so excited. Doesn't matter who waves to them, see? This is surreal.
So you were here investigating?
And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. Clogged exhaust pipe.
Too bad. It looked like such a nice bike too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that.
It's my fault. I think I was using the wrong oil. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. Machines. Tell me you share my angst hair forehead. I ride a bicycle actually. In any event, I'm off to the shop to get her fixed. The detective in charge of the scene isn't fond of me in any case. The detective? You mean the one in the lab coat? Yeah, she's in a foul mood too. Be gentle. Auf Wiedersehen, baby.
God, oh my god, there he goes!
And the forecast for the day... And the forecast for the park today, gloomy skies.
Well, nothing to do but head on in. Let's hit the park, Apollo.
Huh? Does something about this scene look different to you?
The blue tarps are gone. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Look over there.
The white frock detective from yesterday. She seems to be apologising reverently to the trash can.
She is under a lot of stress. The investigation's probably not going so well.
Hey, you there. We're going to talk about someone behind their back. Do it more quietly, please.
Oh, Detective Sky. Hello.
You seem as gloomy as ever. This is miserable. Miserable. I just got a new kid and I can't get this stuff to work. And everyone's all smiles for that glamorous fop. Glamorous? Does she mean Prosecutor Gavin?
More to the point, doesn't she mean glamorous?
When he walks, his shiny chains catch the sudden glimmer in my eyes. It's distracting.
Speaking of distracting...
I guess I just have to accept the fact that I lack talent.
Sounds like she's trying to trying out some sort of new forensic technique. Oh, then. Detective Scry, you know Mr. Wright, correct?
How do you know my daddy? I want details. Well... He helped me out a long time ago. You might say he saved me.
Wasn't he saying something about getting involved in an incident?
I can't stand it when things are vague, especially in a case. I went to study to become a forensic scientist in Europe.
But you're a detective now.
Well, I failed the test. But you know, rank and title don't matter. Rank and title don't matter. What matters is what's inside your heart. I've always thought that too. And my heart is full of science. That's why I brought this kit through mail order. And I'm going to test it here before the forensics team arrives.
Are you sure that's okay?
I won't lie, I'm not fond of the man. Those glamorous types always rub me the wrong way.
Glamorous, right?
Prosecutors should be cool of wit and furrowed of brow. Less glamorous and more slimmerous, you know.
No, actually, I don't.
Well, that and what happened 7 years ago. Prosecutor Gavin was the one who stripped Mr. Wright of his attorney's badge.
What? Really? He was the one?
You mean you didn't know? I thought you were one of his boys.
Neither a boy nor one of his. But let's see what she has to say. What exactly happened 7 years ago? I never actually heard the details.
Then investigate. It's better you learned it for yourself anyway.
Do you mind me asking exactly what it is you've been doing? Squatting down on the ground like that?
Oh, you want to know? Do you? Well, I splurged on a new toy.
You splurged? You mean it wasn't police issue?
What is it? I see a roller and glue. This is a footprint analysis kit. footprint. It was raining on the night of the murder, which means that footprints were left. Oh, does that have anything to do with those blue tarps? Right. The ground was muddy, so I had to protect it as it was that night. Ever wanted to know exactly where someone was standing? Like your panties snatching student witness, for instance? Yeah. So with that kid... Right. What? Want to try this stuff out?
Huh? Are you sure? I mean, we're sort of on opposing teams and all.
Oh, for sure. You're friends. And to tell the truth, I'm not so good at doing this. Guess I'm a little clumsy. I could use your help. Oh, I'm good at stuff like this. I used to make magic bunnies out of paper mache.
Footprint analysis, huh? Well, shall I give it a go? Yes. Okay, I'll give it a go.
That's the spirit. Right, allow me to explain. One moment. She's reading the instructions for her kit.
Why does this not fill me with confidence?
First, we have to pick a footprint, or in this case, shoe print we want to analyze. I've taken the liberty of marking all shoe prints in the park. Well, which shoe print should we start with? If we're going to verify the defendant's account, here's the place to start. Shoe prints prepare to be examined. Oh, this is so exciting. Right, here goes. First, pour the plaster into the print until it's full. You try it.
How am I supposed to do that?
Just touch the screen where you want to pour the plaster. Like this.
That doesn't look too hard.
If you run out of plaster in the beaker before you're done, you have to start over. Not bad. You're handier with that than you look.
What's that supposed to mean?
On to the next step. Dry the plaster until it turns white, right? Just touch to direct the dryer. There, give it a shot. Looks like it's hardened nicely. Let's take a look. Yes, that's a good one. Next, the ink. Ready for the next step? Use the roller to ink. Just the shoe print part. Hold on to that roller tight now and roll it up and down. Keep going until you get enough ink on there for a good print. Right, now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take our print. Ready? Here goes. Let's see if we get a match.
So, the shoe print belongs to Waki-Katai after all. Kitaki after all. There.
He was in the park on the night of the crime. Wow, I can almost see the science at work. Don't you love it? Nothing feels better.
She's definitely way more into this than I am.
Just let me know if you want to do some more. I'll be here solving the case with science. Well, that certainly brightened her mood. Yeah. Detective Sky, mind if we give it another go? Right on. Leave no print unanalyzed, I say. Now, to pick which print you want to analyze. Okay, looking good. Next, to dry the plaster. Okay, let's take out the mold. Yes, that's a good one. Next, the ink. Right, now the moment you've all been waiting for, let's take our print. Ready? Here goes. Let's see if we get a match. So these shoe prints belong to Wesley Stickler. This confirms his testimony, the final version of it at least. Now we know where the panty snatcher was standing. Detective Sky, mind if we give it another shot? I believe you're beginning to appreciate the wonder that is forensic science. Now, to pick which print you want to analyze. Okay, looking good. Next, to dry the plaster. Okay, let's take out the mold. Yes, that's a good one. Next, the ink. Right, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take our print. Ready? Here goes. Huh? That's a funny shoe print. Is that even a shoe? It is strange. So smooth. Except for the part with the leaf. I can say without even looking that this print doesn't match any print on our list.
A mystery print.
This print is far too smooth to be from a regular shoe. It is a shoe print of a certain kind though, that's certain. Still, you have to wonder what it's doing here. It's right next to Eldoon's noodle stand. Does make one wonder. Hey you!
Yes?
Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? You wouldn't happen to have something in your mind? Something that might have left this mystery shoe print?
Mystery shoe print does remind me of something. No, sorry, no idea.
Too bad. I wonder what it is. Something's familiar about that smooth surface. So smooth it's almost slippery. Well, if you think of something, I'm all ears.
Right back here.
This trash can. This is where we found the mirror.
Come to think of it, wasn't there something else in here? Something near the bottom.
Look at the paint on these. That means these must have ended up in here after Mr. Wright's accident. Maybe they're connected. Let's pick them up. What I'm gonna see, so it doesn't really matter, does it? The bottom is covered with paint. Huh? What's this weird shape here? Looks like a leaf was stuck to the bottom when the wearer stepped in some yellow paint. So the outline was left when the leaf was removed. I've got paint on my hand. Hello? I saw you try to wipe your hand on my cape. Nothing else. They say the Maractus Clinic. Hey! What? This slipper. Look right here. I think I see a toe mark. Toe mark? You think we can get a print off that? Sure. Toes are prints just like fingers do, you know. This little clue might be a gold mine. Oh, there's one problem. The police station doesn't keep a record of toe prints. So I won't know whose it is. I guess that would be too much to hope for. Still, it might be useful somehow. Let's analyze it. Could this be a print? Why would there be a finger? Oh, you mean a toe print. Good call, Apollo. I bet we can analyze it just like a regular print. This could be a vital piece of evidence. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute the mic in a minute again then. Turn the screen white. That should be enough. Okay. Oy. Hey, it worked. That looks like a big toe, maybe. Well, it feels like the case is solved already. What was next? We have to match the print, right? Right, let's match it. Wait. The detective didn't give us a list of toe prints, Apollo. Oh, good point. Maybe we should ask her. Get some expert advice. I guess so. Not sure she really qualifies as an expert. Yeah, the slippers. That's quite a clear print there, a toe print. Too bad we don't know whose toe it is. Well, there is a way of finding out, of course. There is? What? All you need to do is a sample of the same toe print of another shoe, for instance.
Oh, right. So if the prints match, you'd know they're the same person or both.
Do I have another shoe worn by the same person?
No, I can't think of anything I might have with the toe print on it.
Oh well, it wasn't too much to hope for, I suppose. Let me know if you find something.
Toe print sample. Do this one as well.
This print is far too smooth to be from a regular shoe. It is the shoe print of some kind though, that's certain. Still, you have to wonder what it's doing here. It's right next to Eldoon's noodle stand. Does make one wonder. Hey you.
Yes?
Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? You wouldn't happen to have something in mind? Something that might have left this mysterious shoe print?
This mystery shoe print does remind me of something. I'm pretty sure I've seen something that would leave a print like that. You know, I think I have our culprit right here. I think it's these slippers, actually.
Slippers? What would slippers be doing out here?
Look at the bottom, see?
It's covered with paint, except for...
See? Right here.
Hey, that spot is shaped like a leaf.
What if a leaf was stuck on the bottom and came off when the slipper stepped in paint? Makes sense, doesn't it?
Wait, something's written on them. The Maractus Clinic.
Exactly, the victim's clinic.
Wait, that means... that someone from the clinic was involved.
Why is she just standing there eating?
Detective Sky, I have a favour to ask. What?
Can you get us access into the Maractus clinic?
The police won't let us in. They say the murder and the clinic are not connected. And it's off limits until we prove they are. I should be able to do something for you, yes.
Huh? Really?
Well, you did my work for me with the shoe prints. Seems like I should return the favour. Thank you, Detective Sky. Here, show this to the police officer on duty.
Right, Maractus Clinic, here comes justice. Ugh. The prodigal attorney returns. Welcome, Apollo. I heard you did well in the trial today. Here to discuss something. I could use a little diversion.
What did Detective Sky say?
If you want to know something, you have to investigate it yourself. Mr. Wright, tell me what happened 7 years ago, please. I want to know. I need to know. You certainly didn't waste any time getting to the point. "7 years ago, I was standing in a courtroom on behalf of a client. The case involved the death of a certain magnificent genius. I'd be surprised if you hadn't heard about it. It was all over the news, I remember that. You were up against Prosecutor Gavin, weren't you?" "Yes. He was only 17 years old at the time."
17 years old? That's still high school.
He took the bar exam abroad in Europe. They're progressive over there, you know. I was defeated by a 17-year-old newcomer. To my shame, I left the practice forever. That's all.
That's all? How could that be all?
What do you mean?
What about what they were saying on the news about forged evidence? They said you forged evidence and had your attorney's badge stripped from you. Tell me, how does it feel? How does it feel to stand here before Phoenix Wright, the forging attorney himself? How does it feel? I don't want to believe it's true. What about what happened in my first trial? Didn't you notice in today's trial there was a single piece of forged evidence? I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. Naughty magician's trick. I didn't see you jumping to my defense on this one. Maybe I did forge evidence. Maybe I didn't. Doesn't really matter now, does it? But I'm not an attorney anymore. That's the only truth you need to know. Mr. Wright. Looks like he doesn't want to talk about the accusations of forgery for now. Ah, you two again. When, oh when will you learn? Look at me. However you want, you're not getting in today. I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Look what we have. What's this? Detective Sky? Yesterday it was Prosecutor Gavin, today it's Detective Sky. Who are you two, really? Feeling suspicious again? Well, you got the orders. I gotta let you in. Have fun. Thanks, Mr. Officer. Let's hit it, Apollo. Kind of an at-home sort of place, isn't it? This place has connections to the murder in the park. This place has a connection to the murder in the park. I'm sure of it. The police guy out front wasn't so sure. Beyond it being where the victim lived. Looks like the police's team has gone home for the day. There might be some clues lying around. Let's get cracking, Apollo. There's a single pair of sandals here. Wait, why would there be sandals here? Unless they belong to one of the patients. Or maybe it's a visitor that's come to see Dr. Maractus. You think they'd use his house entrance instead of the clinic entrance in that case? And if this patient or visitor isn't still here, why'd they leave without their shoes? Better take a closer look at these just in case. Look at all these bowls. They're from Aldoon's Noodles. There's Mr. Salty. Then I think we figured something out. I think we have. Mr. Aldoon must do takeout. Not exactly what I was thinking. All the bowls have been washed clean. I think we found our first clue, Trucy. These must be the slippers for patients at the clinic. Same as the pair we found, of course. Look, a single pair is missing from the rack here too. And ours had paint on the bottoms, which means they were taken out of here on the night of the murder. Right. The paint's from the hidden run after all. What were a pair of clinic slippers doing in that trash can? And what were they doing at the scene of the hidden run? This door says doctor's office.
I think this is the victim's private office.
Not locked. Too bad.
Why too bad?
I like opening locks. It's kind of a hobby of mine. Like those little bike locks. Don't even bother putting them on when I'm around.
That's probably not a hobby you want to tell too many people about.
Apollo, that sound. It came from behind this door.
Someone's in there. Let's check it out, Trucy. Break-in! They looked through that window.
Wait, Apollo. You're too late to catch them now.
That must be your experience as a panty snatcher chaser talking. Well, we should tell the police.
Let's check the room out first, Apollo. If we call the police now, we'll lose our chance.
You're right. She's better at this than I am.
Well, one thing's for certain. This clinic and our murder case are looking pretty related now. Kind of an expensive looking lamp, isn't it? Hey, the bulb's broken.
Broken? Don't you mean burned out?
No, our cat burglar must have dropped it.
Why is it standing up on the floor like that then?
Hey, look at the cord.
There's a red splotch on part of the cord. You think that's blood?
It's a little bright for blood. Almost pinkish.
Something's definitely odd about this lamp, that's for sure.
What a cute little safe.
Looks like a 4-digit lock.
Someone's already entered 2 numbers, Apollo.
79. Wait, do you think? That burglar just now was trying to open it? I wonder what's inside this safe.
Is there any way we can figure out the last 2 numbers?
You know the first 2 are 7 and 9.
Maybe there's something in the court record. Something that can help us figure out the last 2 numbers.
I wonder. Well, I have an idea.
I knew it, Apollo. What is it?
Well, all we have to know is what buttons were pressed. We can use this to find out what the next 2 numbers are. When you press the buttons, you'd have to touch them. With your finger, right?
It would leave a print.
When you open a safe, you don't press any other buttons, but the right ones, right? So if we can find the buttons with fingerprints...
We'll have the safe code. Not bad, Apollo.
Yeah. Look, you can see the oily finger residue clearly. Look at the 7 and 9.
These are glove marks. The burglar must have been wearing gloves.
Well, we might not be able to identify the burglar, but we can open this safe. Let's give it a shot. 7925. Opened.
This looks like a medical chart. There's an X-ray in here with it. An X-ray? Can't make heads or tails of it. Can't read the chart either. It's all in medical speak. But the names are easy enough to read. Look, by patient, it says Waki Kataki. So this is Waki, our client's chart, huh? Why would this one chart be here in the safe? Let's see the physician's signature. Almaractus. Huh? What is it, Apollo? Look here where it says who filed the chart. Let's see. Nurse Alita Tiala. Alita Tiala is Waki's fiancée. That's one eater too many, Apollo. Never mind that. What's her name doing here? How should I know? Though, I guess it means she's on staff at this clinic. Odd that she neglected to mention this before now. I'm sure she had her reasons. So, Alita Tiala worked at the Maractus clinic, and she had access to Waki Kataki's medical chart. Ugh. You got the I and the Y wrong, Apollo. I'd be very interested to find out what this chart says. Who could help us decipher this? This looks like a bullet hole. You can still see the bullet sticking out of it. Why is it in the middle of a safe? Hey, the bullet came out. The tip is all squished. It's surprising even though it was fired into a metal safe. This bullet's got a story behind it, that's for sure. It's a real shame that I've actually played these games before, so I know everything. More or less. I know that face. That's the face of someone who's made a discovery. Hey, how did you know? You can't fool someone trained in the ways of science. Next she'll have us analysing face prints. Let's ask Detective Sky to help us, Apollo. I don't buy this. Annoying. So we have a toe print now. I'm not sure what good it's going to do us with that list of toe prints to check it on. Maybe our detective friend can help us. Maybe it's the other one. Hey Apollo, you think this is... Huh? This could be a toe print. Maybe we can get a print of this. Let's try it out. Okie doke. God, such a chore. Hey, it worked. That looks like a big toe, maybe. But wait, I mean, it It's great that we got the print. But is there such a thing as a list of toe prints?
Oh, good point. There is. Detective Sky didn't give it to us. Which means we can't match this print.
This seems like a good time to ask your detective's advice.
Yeah, good idea.
These sandals.
Yeah.
These sandals. That's quite a clear print there. A toe print. Too bad we don't know whose toe it is. Well, there is a way of finding out, of course.
There is? What?
All you need is a sample of the same toe print, of another shoe, for instance.
Oh, right. So if the prints match, you'd know the same person wore both. Do I have another shoe worn by the same person? Nah. I think I just might, actually.
Really?
I'm beginning to suspect something here. Detective Sky, can you compare the sample with this other print? It's interesting. I completely forgot the one who did this. Thanks. This pair of slippers, toe print and all.
Oh, the print on these is nice and clear too. That makes our job easy.
Can you analyze it for us?
Of course. Hang on. Bingo. Gosh, I'm good.
Hey, we were the ones who found the prints.
Perfect match. The same person wore these sandals and slippers.
I was afraid of that.
All you have to do is find out who these sandals belong to. Or do you already know?
I can't say, not yet. Well, that's one big step closer to the truth.
Don't cry, Angel. Daddy's back and Daddy's. Oh, you again.
Do you always have to announce your entrances like that?
Man, my old man, man. Now I'm all in a funk and it's all his fault.
One can only assume that his father tried to teach him a lesson, but failed clearly.
You two got your work cut out for you, straight up. Of course, I don't care if they lock me up. I'm ready to go.
Some days I wonder why I do what I do.
Hey man, you won't see me bugging about 1 or 2 guilty charges.
And what if you're found guilty of murder?
Hey, it's all experience, you feel me, shorty? Like a badge of honour. They don't give the death penalty, do they?
You didn't really do it, did you?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
I've learned one thing today, it's that silence speaks louder than words. Don't know if I remember right, everyone who's killed in this series gets... I don't even know Dahlia got executed, so...
Man, my old man is whack. Disappointing, that's what he is.
And he wants to leave the mob.
Over my dead body. I spend my life trying to keep it real, being an OG and never stepping down. Now my old man wants to go soft. Fine, let him. Just leave me out of it. The day I get out of the clink, that's the day Alita and I start the next generation of the Kentucky family.
Please don't talk as though it's assumed you're going to jail for my sake.
Rocky. You don't happen to recognise these, do you?
Hey, sure I do. I was the one who bought them for her.
Or Miss Tiala?
Yeah, a birthday present. She's got mad little feet. Mad. So cute, man.
So these sandals are hers.
Yeah, kinda had a feeling.
What's up with the funky vibes?
Man, it's so far off the hook.
It's off the chain, G.
Seems preoccupied with something else.
Wonder how my elite is doing, man. There, wonder how my elite is doing. Man, I miss her. Huh? What's that? Some kind of X-ray? Wait.
That's right, Mocky. It's yours.
Hey, look. I don't smoke or nothing. I'll live long, right?
I don't think he gets it, Apollo.
Take a closer look. Here in particular. Where it says nurse. It's signed Alita Tiala.
You lawyers, do your homework.
Oh, you met Miss Tiala when you...
Yeah, I met her at the clinic. So?
Would you tell us a bit more about the circumstances of your meeting?
Fine, fine. I'll tell you. How we met if you want to know that bad. About half a year ago, I was shot during a little turf war with another family. I was ready to die, sure. But they came in and got me and hauled me off to the docks.
The Maractus Clinic?
That's where I met her. My fallen angel.
You mean Alita Tiala?
She was scared of me at first, turns out. But you know what they say. The bad guy always gets the ladies.
Right.
She was done with that clinic anyhow. So I was like, I'll take you on, woman. Straight gangster style. Guess what she said?
What did she say?
Come on, give it some thought. She said it real quiet like, on the down low, know what I'm saying? I'll leave if you'll marry me.
So that was the proposal.
You know it, no for love, right there in the hospital room. Just like that, the op was done and we were out of there. See you later, bye.
About that op.
Yeah, it didn't go so well after all, did it? I know about the report, I know it's still in me.
This health checkup was the boss's idea, you said.
Yeah, can you imagine? What's the point of living healthy when you're a G? You know what I'm saying?
But didn't you learn about the bullet at that checkup?
Yeah. That's when I knew that doctor had to pay. Figured I could get that cat pulled up after I got my revenge. Hey, I'm still living large now, aren't I?
Incidentally, had you ever had a health checkup before?
Nah, my old man suddenly gets this idea that we all gotta get checkups. Guess he's getting old. Older, I mean.
Mr. Eldoon, we've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Trucy doll?
Well, show him what we found. Nothing like expert advice.
I suppose he is the doctor still. Mr. Eldoon, is everything okay?
I'm just so happy. I just thought my doctor days were gone for good.
Mr. Eldoon. Mr. Aldone, could you take a look at this? A medical chart? Hey, you shouldn't go around taking those from clinics.
Why the sudden silence, Mr. Aldone?
What's going on here?
That's what we want to know. That chart belongs to my client. He's on trial on suspicion of murder.
On trial? That's crazy! You can't put him on trial. He's ABD.
ABD?
All but dead. He's knocking on the pearly gates, and someone's about to answer.
Can you tell us why?
Well, permit me to speak as a surgeon. You listen up good now, son.
No way. It's like he's a completely different person.
Well, according to this chart, this Waki Kataki fella's not doing so well. He's got a bullet right up beside his heart.
And that's right.
Yeah, but this chart talks about the post-op. In other words, the operation is already finished. But you can still see that bullet stuck in there.
Why would it still be in there after the operation to remove it?
Well, about the only reason I can think of is it was too tricky to operate on.
What?
That bullet snug as a bug there next to the aorta, which is connected to the heart. Heck, that scrap of metal just surrounded by blood vessels. Kind of a miracle. 2 millimeters to either side and there'll be some serious bleeding going on in there. Not something the average doc be eager to fiddle with.
You mean?
It took a miracle to get that bullet stuck where it is. It'll take more than a miracle to take it out. It'll take a magician.
I'm only up to making rabbits disappear. I haven't learned bullets yet.
Of course, with the heart pumping and lungs working, that bullet's on the move. I'd give him another half a year tops.
But Waki's operation was already a half year ago.
That's why I'm saying you're out of time. This kid shouldn't be on trial. He should be on an operating table.
Great, just great. How could Dr. Maractus do such a terrible thing? How could he just leave that bullet in there?
I got a pretty good idea of how he felt. An emergency operation, he's got the kid's chest open on the table, and he finds that bullet. That's despair right there, Trucy doll. Cold despair.
Despair?
About the only thing he could do was sew the boy back up. He wasn't exactly in the situation to go a minute and he couldn't take it out.
The Katakis?
You bet. This kid's their only son, I hear. So he skips the operation and Rocky's back on the street living his life. Of course, it's only a matter of time before his heart hemorrhages and he drops cold.
How awful.
Which doctor would they take him to? Maractus. He's got enough ties to them, he could probably cover up the truth of what happened.
That's just horrible. He left Waki to die.
There's a darkness in this world, Trucy doll. Waiting. Hungry. Compared to it, these gang turf wars are like kid games. When you're up against real evil, well, it doesn't matter if you're weak or strong. They'll take you all the same.
You were a surgeon, right, Mr. Eldian? You could operate on Waki, couldn't you?
I wish.
What?
I'm afraid there ain't nobody in the country that could. Maybe not even in the world.
So Waki...
He's real lucky to be alive even now.
No.
There's one problem.
Hello?
This chart. Look at the nurse section. Anita Tiala.
That's right. This operation was how they met.
Yeah, the problem is she knew. He knew about Rocky's condition, guaranteed.
Huh.
Why didn't she ever tell him? Doesn't make sense. She knew her patient was in serious danger. You'd think she'd want to get that second operation before getting engaged.
What was she thinking, Apollo?
What were you thinking, Anita Tiala? I think we all know what the gold digger was thinking.
This is it, the big day. Did you get any sleep?
Yeah, I went to bed at 1 AM or so.
Oh, what time did you wake up?
3 AM.
That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me. And the amazing Mr. Hat.
Here's looking at you, kid. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Hey, get any sleep? Mr. Wright. I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow that place makes fake piano playing at the Indocine pasta joint seem almost fun.
Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today?
Take a guess.
How about Little Plum?
Ah, that shaman tank of a mum. Nope. Guess again.
That's too bad, you know. Speaking of mums, you need to find me a new mummy one of these days, Daddy.
It's early morning and you're at it already, Trucy.
Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship.
So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecution's witness is? Anita Tiala, your client's fiancée. She's going to be the witness.
That seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiancé?
You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something's going down today, that much is clear.
Well, not to worry. I've got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of there.
Court is now in session for the trial of Waki Kataki.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is warmed up and it's a sold-out house.
Very well. To recap, while yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party,
Guilty of panty snatching.
we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant.
Correct, Herr Judge. And today I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon, the preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see. To his betrothed.
His betrothed?
His fiancée, Herr Judge. His partner for life, with no chance for parole.
Very well. You may show the, lucky lady to the stand.
Your name and occupation, Fraulein?
Anita Tiala. My occupation is future wife.
Ah, traditional values. I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded underwater. Yet you're here today as a witness for the prosecution.
To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first. But I couldn't hide the truth.
Honesty, another admirable trait.
Fraulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant Waki Kataki confessed his plans? His plans for murder? Yes.
The witness will please give her testimony to the court.
It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Waki found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. Whoops. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Waki could have done it.
So, the pistol did belong to the Kataki family then?
Yes, with regards to an investigation is underway at the Kataki mansion on charges of the possession of illegal firearms.
And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it?
Fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yes, this has been proven. How can you prove something like that? Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks. Rifling marks? Think of them as being a gun's fingerprint left on every bullet it fires. And when did you first hear about Waki's plan? It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it.
Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
That was the day of the murder, correct? Yes. Everyone in the family received their checkup results that day. When Waki looked at his face went so pale. But of course, he had just found out he had a bullet in his chest. So, you were there at the time? Yes. Poor Waki. That must have been, quite frightening. He was furious. He ripped his report up into shreds. Incidentally, I had to request another copy to file as evidence. A bothersome chore, but one I perform without complaint. Waki's had an age where he's hard to control when he loses his temper. Of course, that little bit of instability is so cute. Great. Now he sounds like a psychopath. That's what I missed. I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols. So, is it easy to take a pistol out from the house? Not really, I think. There's a system in place to limit access. But Waki's a special case, being the next in line. Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, yeah? Maybe he is a bit spoiled. I hear he's got amazing presents for his birthdays. Last year was a switchblade made out of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone.
Sounds like he has a taste for sweets and danger. The point here being that Waki had access to a pistol.
What happened? Meaning the murder? I tried to stop him, I really did. But Waki wouldn't listen. Our defendant was nothing, if not determined, it seems.
The last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss.
How can you say that for certain? How? Forehead. You will refrain from badgering the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Waki was it, who took the pistol from his home. We know this for a fact now.
I suppose we do.
So how could anyone else have used the pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, yeah?
That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point?
Someone else have used that pistol. Based on your testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol. What's this?
Interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who this other person with access was.
Well, of course, I mean, you, Miss Tiala. Me? But why? You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning. Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé and killed a man in cold blood on his behalf? I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this...
It does seem a bit unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and for supporting your partner in life, to be sure. I think I would hesitate at murder.
I'd hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé. That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here? You know what? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Miss Tiala, and the victim.
That looks like a medical chart.
Found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart.
What? Miss Tiala, whatever. Why is your name on this chart?
Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala? I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice. My woman fiancé just froze over. I was on staff at the clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that?
Miss Tiala, you testified that you had no connection to the victim.
And I don't. Now. I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess. You're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right?
That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love, past flaws and all.
There's no connection now. Doesn't fly in a court of law. Doesn't fly? She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Kentuckys. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic, true, but you remain connected somehow.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic.
These sandals were found in the Maractus Clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they? Well, who knows? I'm sure there are a lot of people with those sandals. So sorry, Fraulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you. What's with you? I thought you were on my side. Perhaps you are unaware that toes leave toe prints. A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all. Well, now we see your true colours. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted you to help get Wacky back on the straight and narrow.
This court thinks you need to worry less about Rocky and more about yourself. It sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story.
Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you went there on the day of the murder. Well, there's little point in denying that.
Very well. The witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the Maractus clinic that day?
I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him, after all. I knew Wacky had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful, as an old friend.
By mistake, you mean the mistake we heard about from the defendant? The botched operation.
He was a timid small man, but I never wished him harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know?
That does make sense.
Yes, but there is still one thing which does not.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home.
I would have worn those sandals home too.
So why were the sandals left behind?
He pointed out the contradiction before me.
There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there which you wore home by mistake. Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin. Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation. Yeah, forehead?
Oh, what the? No fair. Spinning the holes in her testimony. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Around what time did you go to the clinic? I don't remember exactly, but it was after 9:30, I think. That was the first time you had contacted Dr. Maractus in half a year. Of course it was. He wasn't the kind of boss you made friends with.
So why did you go to the clinic that day?
Did you want Dr. Maractus to run away? Well, after I failed to stop Wacky, I thought that was the only other way to avoid the problem.
Couldn't you have called? Why go in person?
I called several times that evening, but no one was in.
The victim was busy driving home until after 9 p.m. that night, remember?
This was proven by this mirror yesterday, yeah? I thought if I'd warned him, he would run away for sure. Knowing the doctor.
Hi, Beaker. You mean the act of malpractice on Wacky, correct?
If he had just told Wacky the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened.
True, that operation was the start of this whole affair.
Well, of course, if he told him, he might have been erased by the Katakis much earlier.
A disturbing thought.
We know that the Maractus clinic has ties to the Kataki family. He probably couldn't have gone to the police even if he wanted to. That's why I knew I had to warn him.
No dark secrets, eh?
What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing.
She's hiding something. I know it. Must have some evidence that proves it too.
You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind.
But then you'd be betraying Walkie, wouldn't you?
No, I did it for him. For us.
She went to warn him, so that her fiancé would not have to commit such a crime, yeah?
I didn't want them to take my walkie away.
There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him.
Do you know why she went, Apollo?
Trying to figure out what really happened at that clinic, and fast. This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office.
Yes.
Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you?
Mind filling me in?
Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. Bad hair doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filled this chart was you, which means... filed this chart was you. Yeah. You knew about Walkie's failed operation.
Interesting.
You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kinda makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it?
You're bold for a novice, I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents.
This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly.
Too bad, little attorney.
My bracelet's reacting again.
What is it, Apollo?
I felt my bracelet vibrate just now.
A bracelet?
Just like yesterday, like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away.
I can't see anything, Apollo.
Huh? And what's my bracelet reacting to?
Wait, maybe... Yes, that has to be it.
What has to be it?
Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine.
Huh?
I can't see it, but you can sense it.
I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything.
Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony. But we don't know what her nervous habit is.
Well then, what do we do?
You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses.
It's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that testimony.
Why would I go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart?
Press that first. But your signature was on that chart.
So, what does that have to do with the case? This case. There was something in that chart to make me look bad. I would have dealt with it. The only one responsible for that chart is the presiding doctor, Dr. Maractus.
She's hiding something. I can smell it. I bet she's got a habit that gives it away. I just have to focus to find a nervous habit. Maybe it's time to give my bracelet a rub. Sure.
Why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart now, you ask?
But you know why you would go now, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's quite clear, Miss Tiala. You have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you use your right thumb to fiddle with your ring.
What?
She was unsure. I saw it. Now, that's the key word. Chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat.
That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it.
Indeed.
Huh?
Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. Got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow, with evidence. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this. A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Katakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this?
Nothing. Why should I think anything?
Oh, I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew that Woki's chest X-ray... You knew what Chocky... Blech, can't speak. You knew what Woki's chest X-ray would reveal. A full half-year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you. That's all, Your Honor. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic, but her connection was deep indeed, a bit too deep. If the Katakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala?
You guessed it.
Order! Order! I did it. I broke her testimony.
Amazing, Apollo. I didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait.
Miss Tiala?
It's true that chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Woki and went home.
It appears this cross-examination is far from over.
What?
She hid the truth from us, that is clear, yet it is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony, and we'll have a bit more cross-examination.
I was so close. You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo. Nothing happened at all. I warned him and left.
How did Dr. Maractus respond to the warning?
Oh, he was quite surprised. Panicky even. Who wouldn't be scared to learn that a Kataki was after them?
Incidentally, this court is not afraid of any mobsters. Why, we had a life-threatening situation just yesterday right here in this courtroom.
Yeah, really impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir. After which, I carried you back to your chambers. Sounds like the judge had quite a fright. Nothing happened in Dr. Maractus's office that day, huh? But what about the mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo. I know. But we can't prove when it happened. Nor that Alita Tiala was in any way involved. Well, let's try putting some evidence up anyway. There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Trying to figure out what really happened at that clinic, and fast. You say nothing happened in the doctor's office. I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? It looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually. This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala. Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe? Yes, the police didn't check that far. But there is a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? The pistol was taken from the Kataki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in that office on the day of the murder. Not bad, Hair Forehead.
Bailiff, have this bullet analysed immediately.
"30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical.
Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position?
The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. And at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe which contained the top secret chart.
Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe?
Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala.
Order, order, order! Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness?
Alita Tiala knew about Waki Kataki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination?
What?
And that reminds me. Apparently the Katakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money. A fortune, if you will.
Nefarious. So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on this fortune.
You keep talking trash about my Aaliyah. I'll sue you, lawyer man.
Huh? Me?
Yeah, you. You said you'd abuse my Alita.
I think you mean accuse.
Same difference. No, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot that doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die too. They're in that park.
Waki. Just cool down a sec.
You keep your hands off my Aaliyah, or I'll... Miss Tiala?
I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've laughed so hard.
Something funny?
Wookie, wake up and smell reality.
Leader, baby?
The signature on the chart, the engagement. I mean, come on, it's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself.
Leader?
Your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Fraulein.
Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean, anyway.
So, the family fortune is what you're really after.
That's right, I wanted the money.
Away! That's whack! I ain't trying to hear that.
Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question?
Who, me?
I believe you said you were going to abuse me.
Accuse.
Oh, what crime, might I ask?
Huh?
Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I'd already left the clinic.
What?
I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat.
Wait, but...
What are you talking about?
Trucy?
You had the most to lose if that chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol now, did I? Well, you could have taken walkies. You think he'd have mentioned that now? No? All I heard him say is, it was me, I shot him.
That's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point.
What point?
Certainly the Fraulein wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then... wouldn't she have taken the chart?
Oh,
You see? That chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. He's right.
Miss Tiala,
yes.
and it's clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancée.
Oh, I'm flattered.
It's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day.
Don't forget. You've proven that you were at the Maractus clinic on the day of the crime.
Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not.
You went back later?
That chart was dangerous, you understand. I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day.
But you couldn't get the chart then, could you?
And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited today, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place.
That was you?
Apollo, that sound. It came from behind this door.
Someone's in there. A break-in? They let through that window. So you were the burglar.
That was you two. If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart.
What?
That's trespassing, and brazen at that.
Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know.
In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination.
Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Why that day? That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they?
Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, yeah? I'm kind of thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually. Later.
When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way.
But why did Mr. Maractus keep that chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it.
Because he's a coward. The chart was in his insurance.
Insurance?
My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him.
You could have stolen it.
Could have? Is this some new definition of proof?
We'll ask Wacky. He'll tell us. Might I remind you, this is a cross-examination. You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself.
He's right, isn't he?
Yeah, but,
But what? You have nothing to say? This case is over. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further?
the doctor was shot in the right temple, yes.
So it seems.
Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer was shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple.
Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot.
And that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shouted from this location, the bullet couldn't hit his right temple.
Silly, silly attorney.
What?
Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning?
Do you remember, Trucy?
I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken.
But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Then why don't you show us, Hair Forehead? Show you? What?
Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. If the witness, Panties guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? In what location did the killer shoot the victim?
But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple?
I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Waki Kataki was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Sticker was at the witness mark. And of course, Palmaractus was at the victim mark.
Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim?
As the fact stands now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. And I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place.
Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from?
It's time to raise the roof and the stakes. Huh? Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Like so.
Double penalty?
Your forehead wishes to take us in a new direction? Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. We believe that, and we know where he stood. And the victim turned when he shouted. There's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can where he saw the two men. When he saw the two men. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, toward the noodle stand.
Order, order, order! So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand?
Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you notice if you are pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? I've got it right here.
Intriguing. Let's see what you've got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand.
The Maractus Clinic, and they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene, right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Miss Tiala, your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof that you were inside that noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Observe the diagram. Halfway runs right next to the slipper mark. The slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, ja? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle making trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there.
You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand?
Hello, I think I might be onto something. I think I've figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be...
Well, Mr. Justice, you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand.
I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldon's Noodles noodle stand.
Yes, and what about it?
We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Maractus Clinic.
A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic?
Mr. Muldoon was very clear about these bowls.
Well, I don't care who did it. Well, that stand unfinished. All my noodle bowls were in there too.
Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Stop! I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines.
I would like to remind the witness of our current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent.
Show me an innocent. I'll show you a fairy tale.
In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus.
More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale.
Then please pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself.
This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kataki's family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Pratt got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score.
I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honour. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth or it's over. Oops. Press. So, you did go to steal that chart. Were you listening? I said I asked him for it.
The victim was a man in good health. I don't see how she could have coerced him.
True, it would have been impossible without a pistol. Well, she did have a pistol. And I did I wanted the chart, that much is true. My reason was simple. Certainly would have put a damper on your wedding plans, I'd say. Not only that, if the Katakis had gotten that chart, I'd probably be with Dr. Maractus now, filling that great noodle stand in the sky. Seems our witness was in a fix as well. Who would want to die pulling a noodle stand? When I die, it'll be by disappearing mysteriously in the middle of a magic act.
Could we be a bit less morbid, please?
So you see, I needed that chart.
He didn't understand?
He wouldn't listen to a word I was saying. The moment he saw me, he started to tremble. I thought, what a sad excuse for a man. Please don't smile like that anymore. It's creepy. He was practically delusional. They sent you? You thought the Katakis had sent me to get the chart.
It makes sense. You are their son's fiancée.
Don't make me laugh. The Katakis sent me. They don't play that way. If they'd known about the chart, they would have gone in there with guns blazing. But I couldn't convince the trembling doctor otherwise.
That was really all that happened. What were all those noodle balls doing there?
How should I know? There weren't any balls when I went, I know that much. Why don't you let me be and go look for your killer someplace else, alright?
Do I detect uncertainty there? This is my last chance.
Hello, any word from your bracelet?
Yeah, actually. I felt it respond.
I couldn't see a thing. It's up to you, Apollo.
Time to receive the truth. Here comes justice. Whoops. Hey, Paul. And there is the interruption. It's coming. All I did was talk and lie.
What? Show me proof.
I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words.
My twitch? What are you talking about?
You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf.
What?
This is working better than I had hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth.
Don't look at me like that. I told you it's the truth.
Seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Seems that nervous habit, or unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened.
What's that?
You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord.
Huh?
Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state.
Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me.
Very well. The answer is very simple, Miss Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. This is a trial to determine what happened in that park. Yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting. As soon as the witness removes her scarf.
I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove.
Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven.
What?
You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf.
No. No!
I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala?
Your neck. This isn't what I think it is.
Something did happen that night at the Maractus clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it.
But wait. Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened.
Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness, specifically. You tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus clinic.
Order, order, order! Will someone please tell me what really happened?
I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you.
Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient.
You'll have to get rid of that chart. Quickly, open your safe. Give it to me.
So you can save your own skin?
What?
I know what you're up to. You want in with a family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. If I'm going down, I want some company. You. And what happened next?
He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. How Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out.
So, you were the victim?
And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? Huh? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand. But how could I? Ugh.
Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus clinic, and it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself.
I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. It's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now?
You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet, if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala.
When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala?
Very well. This finishes the cross-examination of this.
Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now we rock. What? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way?
Prosecutor Gavin?
Maractus choked Lita Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right. There is more we don't know. But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while. Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand? Lita Tiala, half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand. And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night. Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet. You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin. Me, Fraulein? I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we've learned up till now. On the day of the murder, Rocky saw his checkup report, in which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine. And Miss Tiala heard about this from Rocky, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him. In order to get rid of the chart with her signature. But then, something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold. But what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiala. Perhaps he thought to death. What did he do after his crime? I was just knocked out, not dead. From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Herr Forehead, care to guess?
Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do?
Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Eldoon's noodle stand. What? Killing me to stab him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand?
It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside that stand. I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. And the question is, why did he remove the bowls?
Maybe because the stand was heavy?
Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place.
Ah. Wait, you don't mean...
I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala.
My corpse?
Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he'd killed you. His next move would be to dispose of the body.
That's crazy talk. You're all crazy.
And let's think about it, logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. On his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki Kataki? I question your logic.
What's this, Prosecutor Gavin?
The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with?
That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled bat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand.
Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination.
What?
Apparently the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was headed with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. Where exactly was the victim dragging the stand? Yeah, that's a river.
Yes, Your Honour. I scarcely need to explain why. The perfect place to dispose of a body.
He was going to throw me into that river?
He didn't have many other options, Fraulein. I believe this clears up all of the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Mr. Lita Tiala. And then, the denouement. Wesley Stickler, of panty-snatching frame, walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts, in that instant,
So, I shot him.
you were the only one who could have stolen Moki's pistol. It had to be you.
Well, Miss Tiala.
Nice work.
You mean, I'm right?
I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. To get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he's said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak.
Whereof what? I believe she's still trying to deny this.
Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? No. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin?
Must I always be the one to point out Herr Forehead's errors? Maybe there really is something. I believe the Fraulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car?
That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage.
In which sat a green sports car, was it?
Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand. And our defense without a case. I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken. Oh, what an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Huh? Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy. Daddy? That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car.
Oh, yes, I'd nearly forgotten about it.
Afterwards, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine. That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car, hmm? Ugh. A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead.
No. No! Order! Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Marcus use his car to carry the body?
Is that a groan of surrender I hear? Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned?
Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened that night.
I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car. Now you're making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Tiara. Put one and one together, and the explanation is simple.
If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. Let's see now. Panties? Again?
All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth. Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties, the latest in a string of similar thefts actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid. In the Maractus Clinic garage. What? The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in his court remembers where he hid them.
Why, what they found in the car's exhaust pipe?
Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. So you were here investigating? And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. I'll clog the exhaust pipe. Too bad. It looked like such a nice bike too. Hard to believe that it could break one just from that. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. My, how interesting. While Miss Tiara and the doctor were struggling, Panty Snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time he found these, that car wouldn't start. What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Well, Miss Tiara, this wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think. So it does. Where am I? So dark. Can't see. Cramped. The pain. My throat's burning.
What's your problem? You, Doc, I know what you did. Oh,
Walkie?
you lied to me. So you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine, I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me.
Oh. He'll ruin everything. I have to stop him.
Caesar wants you.
Funny, this isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well, too bad.
There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand?
In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police. Just when I made my escape. Which is when you left that slipper print. Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though. That was your mistake. No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. Huh? I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Rocky declared guilty, it was you.
I believe we have reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Anita Tiala doing?
She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost. I think he already knew. He'd figured out she was the killer a while ago. Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. You lost, and I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter here, forehead?
Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Not guilty. Court is adjourned.
Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did. Somehow. Rocky's off the hook. Reed will become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank.
Hey, attorney man! You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita Holmes?
Or to blame, I guess.
You get my Alita back! Stupid pointy-headed attorney with a death wish! Enough, Rocky.
Mr. Kataki.
It's high time you opened your eyes, Rocky. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you open yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman. Don't talk about what you don't understand, Rocky.
I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out. Not in jail. Wouldn't that be abandoned? Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kentucky needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Rocky. Oh Wookie, Apollo has something to tell you.
Huh? I do? Oh, way to put me on the spot. What's that?
Show him the reason why, Apollo.
Why is Mr. Kentucky trying to become a businessman? Think about it, Wookie. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday.
It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is.
She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you? I searched the globe. I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Wookie. But it's an expensive procedure. Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It's the gangster life that did this to you, Wookie. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. Please understand, Wookie.
Dad.
Man, I see how it is, old man. Always you looking out for...
Wookie.
Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer.
Wait, Wookie.
No, it's as it should be.
Mr. Kentucky. I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes.
I'm glad to have met you. Not so good with words. But I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you.
Me? I don't think...
Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest. The Kentucky Lime Pie.
He's opening a pie shop?
So long.
And he was gone. Well, let's head back, Apollo. To the Right Anything Agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? We make a good team. Don't just stand there. Let's get going.
Why not?
She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. I can't say I care much for what her father has become. Oh, that's right. We have to go someplace first.
What? Where?
Why, to claim our reward from Mr. Eldoon.
Salty noodles. Right, you got his stand back already.
Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. In a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat.
Oh, it's special, all right.
He's anything but him. Anyway, that ends that case. And I shall be back tomorrow with more. For now, though, bye.